Greetings and salutations, comrades. Hope this finds you well. Quick shout out to the two Uber comrades supporting my channel and this content. Patreon, my partner, Rosa, thank you. And Independent Left News, definitely check out Independent Left News. Lots of great stuff on there. So it's pretty interesting. I found this article on the Left Voice website about the Squid Games TV show and how the Squid Game is actually, could be looked at as an allegory for capitalist society. Again, an allegory being story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. So let's take a look at this article. I have not watched this Squid Game show, but I have heard about it. The kiddo was actually talking about it last night. It does seem to be quite popular at this point in time. Let me know down below if you have watched this. Is it worth watching? I think it's on Netflix, right? In the hit Korean show Squid Game, working class contestants are given a gruesome chance to win millions or die trying. An allegory for capitalism, the show's game can only exist because of the structural poverty produced under our exploitive system. Exploitive system is a great way to, encapsulate what capitalism is inherently exploitive system. If you're a worker under capitalism, you are being exploited. The series Squid Game has been trending on Netflix, reaching the #1 spot. The hit Korean drama tells the story of a group of 456 people who are called to participate in a game. After being drugged and taken to a remote location, the participants compete to win the prize of 45.6 billion won, 39 million. Directed by Hwang Dong-hyuk. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing. Please let me know. The show is in the survival drama genre, akin to works like Alice in Borderlano, John in the Hole, Circle, and most paradigmatically Battle Royale, where a group of people participate in a deadly game in order to survive. Works in this genre typically follow the premise that if human beings are put in extreme situations, their true nature will show. However, it seems that the opposite is true. That extreme situations in these survival dramas prevent their participants from actualizing their human powers. It's also a good, it's a very close connection to what capitalism is, right? None of us, or a vast majority of us, the working class, isn't really able to actualize our full human potential or full human power because of this, economic system that puts profit above, the well-beings of people, as well as, the well-being of the natural world and, and all the other life forms on it. Solidarity, tenderness, and empathy. In fact, rather than telling us about what it is to be human, they show us the dehumanization that these death systems are capable of. As Huang points out, Squid Game was written as an allegory, a fable about, look at that. That's awesome. So this is the director, right? Yep, that's the director saying this. So pretty cool. An allegory or fable about modern capitalist society, something that depicts an extreme competition, somewhat like the extreme competition of life. Boom, that's awesome. We should consider in what ways the series speaks to the dehumanizing capacity of our society. Put differently, in what sense we are all playing versions of the Squid Game. Capitalism, structural poverty. The series centers on Seong Gi-hun, a 47-year-old man who's completely broke. He lives with his mother, from whom he steals money to satisfy his compulsive racehorse gambling. His life is consumed by unpayable debts that lead him to sign up to sell his organs to the Korean mafia. However, his situation is not uncommon in Korea, as noted in the show's final episode. Korea has the world's second highest level of household debt, which is rapidly increasing. I'm assuming this they're talking about South Korea and not the DPRK, but I could be wrong. The participants in the Squid Games are not unique and unlikely, but victims of structural violence. Another famous Korean drama, Parasite, showcases these vast class differences. The players in Squid Game can only exist because of capitalism and the structural poverty it produces. The illusion of choice. Again, there's no choice under a capitalist system. Like, you either work or you don't have a home. Even if you work, you still might not be able to have a home. We don't have healthcare as a guaranteed right. We're the only country out of the wealthiest 25 that doesn't guarantee that. We have poverty amidst plenty. These are all byproducts. These are all eventualities of capitalism, right? Let's see. The selection process consists of a detailed investigation and surveillance of Koreans living in extreme poverty. While everyone chosen is given a choice to play the game, this is not really. This, in reality, is not a choice because of the coercive forces of capitalism not giving them any path to come forward in life. They, again, it speaks to the precarious nature of a capitalist economic system where there's always going to be that vast army of the unemployed, because that drives down wages. Again, it's a system based on maximizing profit. People in the natural world be damned. They were selected because they have been socially stripped of everything and can therefore serve as disposable human racehorses. Almost reminds me of that Boots Riley movie, Sorry to Bother You. That is also really good. Check that out, please. A simplistic reading of the show would be that extreme precariousness pushes participants to risk their lives in pursuit of change. However, more critical analysis must acknowledge that this decision should not be approached from an individualist perspective. Again, the system as the sickness, as Richard Wolff talks about, and I believe that is the name of his most recent book. The Squid Game's organizers carefully selected those whose dire life situation and possibility of dying in a game do not differ much from each other. The high percentage of people who choose to redo the game, their entry rate is 93%, as we learned in the second episode, accounts for this impossible decision. After being stripped of options in their life, participating seems the best option. In reality, the participants only choose between the two death systems, which differ only in degree but not in nature. The dehumanization of Squid Game's death system is possible because capitalism already structurally performs a continuous control process of dehumanization. Yes, something that Marx talked about, the dehumanizing nature, the alienating nature of capitalism. We become alienated from ourselves. We become alienated from our work, from our labor, because we all the working class is exploited, through the surplus, labor value that they produce that's siphoned off by the capitalist class. We become disconnected from our fellow human being. We become disconnected from the natural world. This is that, this process of dehumanization and alienation they're talking about here. We could say that the game continues this process of dehumanization by other means. Choosing to participate is only illusion of choice. Again, it's only, we have the illusion of choice in capitalism, right? But we really don't have any choice at all. Process of dehumanization. If, as Wang Dong-hyuk notes, Squid Game is an allegory for capitalism, then we should reflect on the analogy between our society and the game's longevity and its effectiveness in recruiting participants. That is, how is it possible that 14,592 people have participated throughout the game's 30-year history and that a winner has been crowned each year? In other words, why have people chosen to continue playing? And more importantly, what is the analogy between the Squid Game and capitalist society? We've already mentioned the thorough process through which members of the lowest classes and fallen members of the middle class are chosen to participate in the ways in which the capitalist system robs us of opportunities. However, between these processes and the radical objectification of considering the participants as horses on the track, episode 9, there are several alienating and dehumanizing processes at play. The recruitment process carried out through a Korean game called Dijachi consists of essentially of alienating yourself from your pain in your body. If you could accomplish this in exchange for money, it would be assumed that you can use your body to pay up. This proceeds to a defense of kidnapping and confinement through discrediting and holding the participants responsible for participating in the game of their own free will. Like, it's very akin to capitalism, right? All of you in this room are living on the edge, which debts you can pay off. With debts you can't pay off. When we first went to see each of you, not a single one of you trusted us. But as you all know, we played a game as we promised, gave you money when you won, and suddenly everyone here trusted us. You called and volunteered to participate in this game of your own free will. Will you go back to living in your old depressing lives, getting chased by your creditors, or will you act and seize the last opportunity we're offering here? Episode 1. In the first game, Red Light, Green Light, participants are shot if they move when the animatronic robot of a small girl looks at them. This begins a process of alienation to the deaths of others. I mean, think about, the process of alienation to death in the United States. We've had over 700 plus thousand people die. Huge, massive percent of that could have been prevented if we didn't live in this capitalist death cult. China, for example, they have less than 100 times the amount of deaths due to COVID, and they just so happen to be a socialist country. Only those who do not flinch at the shooting and the death of the participants and who accept that there's no choice but to play will be able to win. In episode 4, between the second and third game, the organization provokes a flight by purposely giving the participants less food. This leads to distrust and further dehumanization among the participants as they can see each other as latent dangers. Another, very connects to capitalism very well. We're all, especially, in this hyper competitive, hyper individualized United States, it's, look out for yourself. The broader community, broader society, be damned. We got to look out for ourselves in this dog eat dog world, right? Finally, in the game that gives the series its name, the other participants must be completely dehumanized. In the game where any kind of violence is allowed, the alienation of the others taken to the extreme. It is no longer murder mediated by an instrument as in the rope game, but one as to murder by one's own hand directly. Of course, the main character reports to evading some of the processes of alienation, but his case is unusual and only made possible by his solidarity and personal relationships he was able to build with Ol Ilman. Unbeknownst to him, Player 001 was the manufacturer of the whole operation, as a key alliance with a powerful rich player saved his life multiple times. Capitalism, VIP, and racehorses. Squid Game shows the sickening conclusion that the enormous division between classes that the South Korean, it is South Korea, society has produced. This game was created to combat the boredom of obscenely wealthy people called VIPs in the show. In other words, a system of death is financed for the sake of mere entertainment. The participants' objectification, dehumanization is obscenely direct. As the leader of the organization mentions in episode 9, you like horse racing, don't you? You are horses on the track. The Squid Game expresses in a radical fiction the vast differences between classes produced by capitalist society. The competition that the participants go through is an allegory for the cruel competition experienced by the dispossessed people of the world. Even without knowing it, all of us are living in the Squid Games. Originally published in Spanish on September 30th in La Izquierda Diario. Izquierda, I believe that is left. So is that the left diary? My Spanish is very poor, but I believe Izquierda is left. A la derecha de is right. Let me know if I'm wrong. But really, really interesting article by Luis Velasquez at Left Voice. I'll link this down below, but pretty interesting. Makes me maybe want to watch this Squid Game show because, as they point out, this is a very good example of what living in a capitalist system looks like, especially late stage capitalism in the United States in particular, but obviously expands to international realm as well. So let me know, what do you think about this article? Have you seen Squid Games? Did this article resonate with what you've seen? Do you recommend this show? Like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. All part of the people. Peace. Much love.